So this is what he called the creative process. Like right now, we all have goals to become coaches, right? Who remembers the first time it was a fantasy? Like, yo, it would be nice to be a full-time coach. He says they all start off as a fantasy. And it goes from being a fantasy to a theory. And then from a theory, it can become a fact. In order for a fantasy to become a theory and then an actual goal, we have to ask ourselves two questions. The first question is, am I able? And it's just like Bob says, well, if you listen to everything science says and theology says about what a human being is capable of course you're able. Whether you believe it or not, that's out of the question. But you are able. You have the potential as a human being to make your dream become possible. Like there's no doubt about that. You are able. But do you believe it? So by the time I quit my job, I knew I was able to do it, right? He says the second goal is, am I willing? Am I willing to do whatever it takes to reach the goal? That's where I got stuck. I'm like, I'm not willing. I'm not willing to quit my job. I'm not willing to cold prospect. I'm not willing to ask people for money. I'm not willing to do a lot of things. And therefore the goal remained a fantasy. But then I was just like, you know what, Bob? I think you're on to something, bro. I got to a point where it's just like, yo, I'm willing. It didn't happen overnight. The first thing I was willing to do was have a conversation with my boss to be like, yo, I think I need some extra time off. And then I went from I need some extra time off, be like, yo, I'm gonna say like, yo, I'm gonna take off work because work is overwhelming and stressing me out. But remember, absolute faith. I had a thought, I'm hip now to Bob's stuff. Frequency is everything. I'm just like, yo, Ben, questions are the answers, right? And I'm just like, yo, I don't even want to entertain the idea that it might not, because I don't want the energy of thinking like, yo, it might not work and then I got to go back to a job. I'm like, yo, I don't want to even think about the possibility of returning. Like, look, I quit. Well, I'm just like, I'm burning the ships. I'm out. Absolute certainty. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm having complete faith right now, but that's when it became a goal. And once it became a goal, it became a fact literally 30 days later. First 5K month. I put in some work. I was willing to do whatever it took. Before I wanted to pitch nobody like, yo, come do my 3-day event. And then after the 3-day event, pay me $5,000, $10,000. I wasn't going to do that, but I was just like, yo, F it, right? And literally, as soon as I went all in, it became a fact. And then the process started all over again. Now I'm making 30 or whatever. Now I got to do Tony Robbins program.